can't believe we're here. I genuinely, I cannot believe I'm about to talk about the final episode of Dark. My voice, I'm, fuck. That was so beautiful. What a finale. What is there to even say, man? I mean, a show that starts off as a true detective missing child thriller has unfolded into this beautiful analysis of fate in within physics and quantum entanglement, and oh my goodness, that's one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. That's straight up one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. But let's talk about the finale. That's why we're here. So let's talk about the finale. This might be a long video, so lock the fuck in. This shit is so expertly written. I'm convinced the writers and creators of this show are stuck in a bootstrap paradox themselves, where they've seen the show in the future and they just keep bringing the script back to their younger selves. Adam and Eve, of different worlds. Adam, our world. Eva, other world. Adam wants darkness. Adam wants to eradicate life, to end all of this suffering. His goal is simple: make sure the apocalypse happens and destroy the fucking knot. He has spent the entire series making sure everything has happened as it is supposed to happen. No matter how dark he must get, he is there to ensure the cycle continues and the apocalypse eradicates the knot, which he believes to be the product child of Marta and Jonas. Eva, the complete opposite. She wants to save the origin. Lying, she's deceptive, she's manipulative, but her plan is the opposite of Adam's. And just like Adam, everything Eva does is calculated. Everything she wants to do is to make sure that this circle continues in its designated fashion, to ensure that her son survives. What they don't realize, and what I love about how this fucking episode starts, is Claudia comes in and basically says, yo, shut the fuck up. What you think is happening is so unbelievably incorrect, and you and Eva are contributing to this never-ending cycle. Everything you think you're doing is not in service of your goal. And she reveals that there is a third world, a third origin world out there. Man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills. This whole fucking show is about fate and the tragedy of fate. And this is true for everyone. This rings true across every single written character in this goddamn show. I read an interesting article about Dark Season 2 after I had finished Dark Season 2, and there was a quote in that article that said, people are a slave to their desires. And as Season 3 unfolded, and as you kind of start piecing things together across all three seasons, that statement just is so unbelievably powerful. And it all starts from episode 1 when Mikkel hangs himself. Fate, desire, Noah is in pursuit of Charlotte. Elizabeth having to take Charlotte back to Tannhaus 45 years ago. Everything Adam does, everything Eva does, it's all in service to desire. And this show unfolds in a way where it's just leading them down these unbelievably horrifying and dark trends. And then you throw time travel in, and it's a circle. It's an infinity sign. Oh my God. And then that brings us here. Because once we find out about this third world, this origin world that Tannhaus is a part of, and in this world, he's trying to invent time travel to bring back his son, his daughter-in-law, and his grandchild. He accidentally splits his world into 3, thus creating what we thought was the main world, additionally, and Eva's world. So they end up going back in time, fuck off. They end up going to an origin world, the third world. Just when you thought this show couldn't get more confusing, they had a third world, although this episode was fairly straightforward. I thought this made me cry. And both of these made me cry. This was so beautiful, and it goes right back to fate. Jonas and Marta have been connected since childhood. This is their origin. This is the moment their story begins. And I loved it. I loved everything about this sequence. But they accomplish their goal. They go back. They save Tannhaus's son, granddaughter, and daughter-in-law, stop them from driving over the bridge. And again, it's I love when Tannhouse's son and daughter-in-law get back to the house, and the daughter-in-law is kind of like joking, but she's 100% serious in a way where she's like, he saw two angels. Yeah, motherfucker, angels. What an episode, man. What a finale. What a season. What a show. And I love the ending of this episode. I love the ending of this episode where we're in the origin world and you see the only people alive are those that were not birthed of time travel. So the only ones that we know that were not birthed of time travel are Hannah, our one-eyed policeman, Katerina, Regina, cancer-free Regina, and then I'm pretty sure the other two were Tannhouse's son and daughter-in-law, which is crazy to think about how big of a cast this motherfucking show is, and only 3 of our main cast wasn't born of time travel, Katerina, Regina, and Hannah. And I love that moment where Hannah sees the yellow raincoat and she's like, whoa, hold the fuck up. And she has this moment of deja vu, and then it cuts to them asking, what do you think you're going to name your child? And she was like, well, I really like the name Jonas. Get this shit out of my face, dude. This is one of the greatest TV shows I've ever seen. And I can't believe, I've said it again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I cannot believe how well written this show is. Like, that this should not be possible. 3 worlds, an infinite number of timelines, a never-ending circle, so many characters, relationship. You know what I would love to do? I would love to test myself and like take out a piece of paper and just see if I can like correctly write a family tree of this show from memory. Wow, what a show.